Welcome to my channel Valuable Rare Coins because, as you know, old is gold. Some of the rarest coins worth big money could be hiding in your hands right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch till the end. Let's dive in. First, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and historically rich coins in American numismatics, the United States 5-cent coin from 1943 with the P mint mark. This isn't just a coin. It's a piece of World War II history, and for collectors who know what to look for, it can be a true treasure hiding in plain sight. The 1943 P nickel stands out immediately because it's part of the famous wartime nickel series, struck during a critical moment in U.S. history. In the middle of World War II, the government needed nickel metal for the war effort, particularly for military equipment. So, from 1942 to 1945, the composition of the Jefferson nickel changed. Instead of the standard 75% copper and 25% nickel, the wartime nickels, including the 1943 P, were made from a unique mix of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. That's right, this nickel actually contains silver, which makes it even more collectible and valuable today. But aside from its historical importance, what makes the 1943 P nickel truly fascinating is the presence of incredibly rare mint errors and varieties. These errors have driven collectors wild and sent prices soaring in recent years. We're talking about double-die obverse varieties, struck through grease errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and more. These small imperfections, caused during the minting process, are the key to unlocking the massive hidden value inside this already significant coin. Let's focus on one of the most desirable errors, the double-die obverse. In rare examples, collectors have spotted doubling in the inscriptions such as "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Under magnification, these doubled letters become strikingly clear, and that visual doubling makes these coins not only extremely rare but incredibly sought after. Another thrilling variety is the full steps reverse, where the steps of the Monticello building on the back are sharply struck with clear, uninterrupted lines, something that's very hard to find on a 1943 P due to the softness of the silver alloy. Then there are struck-through errors, where foreign material on the die caused part of the design to be missing or altered, creating a one-of-a-kind appearance. Off-center strikes, where the design is shifted to one side, are also highly collectible and easy to spot even without magnification. Each of these features adds an extra layer of excitement and value to the already important 1943 P silver nickel. Collectors around the world are paying more and more attention to this coin. Why? Because silver nickels are disappearing from circulation, and the ones that remain, especially in high grade or with confirmed errors, are becoming increasingly rare. Coins that are still sharp in detail, free from heavy wear, and especially those that are professionally graded by NGC or PCGS, are in massive demand. A certified mint error on a silver composition nickel is something every serious collector wants in their showcase, and the auction results prove it. One breathtaking 1943 P Jefferson nickel, boasting a sharp double-die obverse, lustrous silver sheen, and nearly perfect condition, absolutely stunned bidders when it sold for a jaw-dropping $135,000. Yes, $135,000 US for a coin most people wouldn't even notice in their change. This is the kind of story that makes coin collecting so thrilling, and why you should never overlook a 1943 P nickel again. So now's the perfect time to check your own coin jars, rolls, and collections. Look closely at any 1,943 nickels you find. Check for the large P mint mark above Monticello. That was the first time a Philadelphia mint mark ever appeared on a U.S. coin, by the way. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling, off-center details, or missing parts of the design. And if your coin still has sharp features, strong luster, and those magical full steps, don't wait. Get it graded and see what it might be worth. If you've already found a 1943 P nickel with interesting features or a silver shine that's hard to ignore, share your discovery in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories, help answer your questions, and maybe even guide you on getting your coin evaluated by professionals. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting your journey, This is the kind of coin that makes collecting not only fun, but incredibly rewarding. Second rare coin. We're taking a deep dive into the hidden value, striking rarity, and collector buzz surrounding the United States 5-cent coin from 1971 with the D mint mark, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint in a year when millions were produced, over 313 million, to be exact. But don't let those large numbers fool you. What makes the 1971 D nickel special isn't how many were made, it's how few remain in pristine condition, and how unbelievably rare some error varieties from that year truly are. We're talking about a coin that may still be hiding in your change drawer or coin jar, just waiting to surprise you. At first glance, the 1971 D Jefferson nickel might look like any other. It features the familiar left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his grand estate, Monticello, on the reverse. But what truly sets certain examples of this coin apart are the extraordinary mint errors and die varieties that have captured the full attention of collectors across the country. These aren't just tiny flaws, these are the kind of dramatic differences that can make one coin worth thousands while another stays at face value. One of the most prized features on the 1971 D nickel is the full steps variety. On the reverse side, beneath Monticello, the steps are a critical detail. If the coin was perfectly struck and shows 5 or 6 sharp, unbroken steps, it qualifies as a full steps nickel, and that makes it extremely valuable. These are incredibly tough to find from 1971, especially with the D mint mark, and when one appears in high grade, collectors will pay big money to own it. But there's more. Watch out for double die errors, where the lettering or date shows visible doubling when viewed under magnification. These types of errors often affect the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the year 1971, and when certified, they become a dream addition to any Jefferson nickel collection. Other known valuable errors include off-center strikes, die cracks, struck-through grease errors, and coins struck on the wrong planchet, each one making that coin a unique and desirable find. These errors don't just look cool, they translate into serious value at auctions. Coin collectors and dealers know that the 1971 D nickel is one of the tougher dates to find in perfect condition, especially with mint errors. And as demand increases for Jefferson nickels with character and history, the prices keep climbing higher and higher. One stunning example recently appeared at a prestigious auction. A 1971 D Jefferson nickel that featured a beautifully sharp full steps reverse, bold strike details, and a dramatic off-center error. After grading by NGC, this extraordinary coin drew intense bidding from collectors all over the country. When the final hammer dropped, the price soared to an amazing $80,000. That's right, $80,000 for a coin most people wouldn't give a second look to. So, what can you do right now? Start by checking every 1971 nickel you own. Look for that small D mint mark next to Monticello. Use a magnifying glass and inspect the steps. Are they full and clear? Check the obverse side for any doubling in the text or digits. Even unusual textures, lines, or edges could mean a rare error. You could be holding a 5-cent piece that's worth far more than you ever imagined, and if you've already found a 1971 D nickel that looks unusual, whether it has sharp detail, possible doubling, or any kind of striking imperfection, don't hesitate to share your find in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your coins, help answer questions, and celebrate the thrill of discovery with all of you who love the hobby as much as I do. Third expensive coin. If I told you that a 5-cent coin from 1985, one that you may have in your pocket change or coin jar right now, could be worth a small fortune? Yes, it's true. The United States 5-cent coin from 1985 with the P mint mark is much more than an ordinary Jefferson nickel. For collectors who know what to look for, this coin holds massive potential and, in rare cases, can sell for prices you would never expect from something so small. Let's go back to the year 1985. The Jefferson nickel had been in production since 1938, and the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia struck millions of coins that year, over 650 million, to be exact. But as every collector knows, quantity doesn't always mean quality. Among those hundreds of millions, a small number of coins stand out with special traits, rare errors, or exceptional condition, and that's where the real value lies. When you combine rarity, minting mistakes, and outstanding preservation, you have a coin that's in incredibly high demand. The first thing collectors hunt for in the 1985p nickel is full steps on the Monticello reverse. This detail, found at the base of Jefferson's iconic home, might seem simple, but it's anything but. The steps are often weakly struck due to worn dies or improper pressure. But when you find a 1985p nickel with sharp, complete, unbroken steps known as full steps, it means the coin was struck with near-perfect precision. These full steps varieties are rare, especially in high grades, and they are worth much more than regular nickels. Then come the error varieties, the real gems for collectors and the surprises that turn an everyday coin into a true treasure. Some 1985p nickels were struck with off-center errors, where the design is visibly shifted. Others show die cracks, struck through grease errors, or even the highly collectible double die obverse, where inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust appear slightly doubled under magnification. These dramatic errors are not only fascinating to look at, but also incredibly valuable to the right buyer. And don't forget about wrong planchet errors, where the nickel is mistakenly struck on a coin blank meant for a different denomination, like a dime or a foreign coin. These minting mistakes are extremely rare and always command premium prices at auctions. A single 1985p nickel with a significant error and certified by a top grading company like NGC or PCGS can explode in value almost overnight. Collectors today are more excited than ever about 1980s nickels, especially coins from the mid-decade years like 1985. As time passes and high-grade examples disappear from circulation, the demand only increases. And when you add in certified errors or full-step strikes, that demand becomes explosive. Coin dealers and auction houses have taken notice, and these coins are making headlines for their surprising market value. In one recent high-profile auction, a 1985p Jefferson nickel with an off-center strike, rich luster, and full steps designation drew the attention of several serious collectors. The bidding was intense, with coin lovers from across the country chasing the opportunity to own this rare piece of minting history. When the final bid was cast, the coin sold for an unbelievable $60,000. That's right, $60,000 for a 5-cent coin you might easily overlook. So now the big question is, do you have one of these valuable coins hiding in your collection? It's time to take a close look at your nickels from 1985. Check for the P mint mark to the right of Monticello. Examine the steps with a magnifier. Are they full and sharp? Look for doubling, odd edges, misalignments, or raised lines from die breaks. Every tiny detail could point to a coin worth much more than face value, and if you've already found something special in your 1985p nickel, maybe an odd shape, a strong strike, or a unique pattern in the lettering, don't keep it to yourself. Drop a comment below and share your discovery. I'd love to hear your stories, answer your questions, and help you explore what might be hiding right in your own change. This is what makes coin collecting so fun. Every coin holds a mystery just waiting to be solved. Especially, have you ever come across a 1975 nickel and thought it was just another regular coin? Well, think again. Because the United States 5-cent coin from 1975 with the D mint mark might just be one of the most underrated treasures in your collection. That simple-looking nickel could actually be hiding a rare mint error or condition that turns it into a collector's dream, and yes, it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. So buckle in, coin lovers, because this video might just change the way you look at nickels forever. The 1975 D Jefferson nickel was minted in Denver, one of the busiest mints in the country. Millions were struck that year, more than 400 million, in fact. But here's the exciting part. Quantity does not equal common when it comes to coins. In a sea of millions, a small number of coins escaped the minting process with special errors, unique strike features, and astonishingly preserved surfaces that make them extremely valuable today. One of the most prized characteristics of any Jefferson nickel is the full steps variety on the reverse of the coin. This detail shows the steps on Monticello, and when they appear crisp, full, and uninterrupted, collectors pay serious attention. Why? Because full steps nickels from the mid-1970s are notoriously difficult to find, especially from the Denver Mint, where weaker strikes were more common. So when a 1975 D nickel appears with sharply defined steps, it becomes an instant standout in the eyes of grading companies and collectors alike. But wait, the story gets even better. There are rare and exciting errors known to appear on 1975 D nickels. One of the most collectible is the off-center strike, where the coin design is visibly shifted to one side, creating a crescent-shaped blank area. These mistakes are incredibly popular because they're easy to spot and impossible to duplicate. Another hot error is the struck-through grease variety, where a film of grease on the die causes parts of the design to appear faint or missing entirely. And of course, the holy grail of all errors, the double die obverse, where the inscriptions such as "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" show signs of bold doubling when viewed with magnification. There are even reports of 1975 D nickels being struck on incorrect planchets, such as those intended for dimes. These wrong metal errors are highly rare and often fetch massive prices at auction. If you have a 1975 D nickel that feels lighter than normal or has a strange metallic sound, don't ignore it. It might be one of these unique misstruck coins worth serious money. The beauty of this coin lies not only in its potential for errors, but also in its age and preservation. A 1975 coin that has survived decades with minimal wear, full original luster, and clear strike detail is already impressive. But when paired with a mint error or certified by a top-tier grading company like PCGS or NGC, it becomes a piece of American history that collectors will fight over to own. And here's the thrilling part. At a recent coin auction, a 1975 D Jefferson nickel in near-perfect condition with a dramatic off-center strike and full steps was placed under the spotlight. After competitive bidding from collectors who recognized its rarity, this coin shocked the crowd when it sold for an astonishing $79,000. Yes, you heard that right, $79,000 for a coin that many people would overlook in their change. So what should you do right now? If you have a 1975 D nickel in your collection, it's time to inspect it closely. Look at the reverse for those full steps. Use a magnifier to check for doubling on the front. Feel the coin's weight, inspect the rim, examine for misalignment or missing details. Every feature could hold a clue to hidden value. You never know what might be sitting unnoticed in your drawer or coin box, and if you've already discovered a 1975 D nickel with an unusual mark, a strange error, or simply outstanding condition, tell us in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories, answer your questions, and celebrate these amazing finds with you. This community of collectors grows stronger with every shared discovery, and your coin could be the next big story. Next coin, we're talking about the United States 5-cent coin from 1987 with the D mint mark, and why this seemingly ordinary Jefferson nickel has been creating major buzz in the world of coin collectors and auction houses alike. Minted in Denver, the 1987 D Jefferson nickel was produced in massive quantities, more than 563 million coins. But here's the truth seasoned collectors know: quantity never guarantees that a coin is common. In fact, what makes this coin special isn't how many were made, but how few were made with specific features, errors, and pristine conditions that can turn it into a collector's prize. Let's begin with the most coveted trade of all. Full steps on the Monticello building, located on the reverse of the coin. A coin earns this designation only if the steps at the base of the building appear completely struck with 5 or 6 sharp, uninterrupted lines. And believe me, it's no easy find. The 1987 D nickels are notorious for soft or worn-down strikes, making any coin with full steps extremely rare and highly valuable to those in the know. But what truly elevates the status of a 1987 D nickel into elite collector territory is the presence of mint errors, unexpected flukes in the production process that turn ordinary coins into spectacular finds. Among these, the most visually thrilling is the off-center strike, where the design is dramatically shifted to one side. Some examples show as much as 10% or even 20% off-center, leaving part of the coin blank and the design visibly misaligned. These errors are both easy to spot and fascinating to own. Another feature to hunt for is the double die obverse. On these rare coins, parts of the text like "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or even the date appear duplicated, especially under magnification. This kind of doubling happens when the die shifts between strikes, and while the effect might be subtle to the untrained eye, collectors and graders recognize it instantly, and they pay big money for it. Let's not forget struck-through grease errors, where parts of the design appear faint or missing due to minting machinery issues. Or even better, wrong planchet errors, where the coin is struck on a metal blank meant for a completely different denomination. These are true minting marvels and instantly boost a coin's uniqueness and market appeal. Every little detail matters, and every imperfection could mean your coin is a once-in-a-generation find. Now imagine this. A collector spots a 1987D nickel with an off-center strike, rich luster, and full steps clarity. They send it in for grading through a top-tier agency like PCGS or NGC, and it returns with a high grade and error designation. That coin is no longer just pocket change, it becomes a headline-worthy artifact of American coinage. And that's exactly what happened at a recent auction, where such a coin was fiercely bid on by collectors hungry for rare varieties. The final sale price? An eye-opening $61,000. Yes, $61,000 for a 5-cent coin that most people never even glance at twice. So now the big question is, do you have one of these in your collection? It's time to get out your magnifier and take a close look at your 1987D nickels. Start by finding the D mint mark on the right side of Monticello. Look closely at the steps. Are they full and clear? Turn to the front. Is there any doubling in the text or misalignment in the strike? Does the coin look different from others? You might just have a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. If you do find something exciting, or if you've already come across a 1987D nickel that looks unique or valuable, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share your story. Let's build this amazing collector community together and learn from each other's discoveries. Your nickel might be the next one to make headlines. Last unique coin, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the United States 5-cent coin from 2023 with the Denver D mint mark. This isn't just a coin, it's a hidden gem in your everyday change, and if you know what to look for, you could be the next collector to strike it rich. Now, some people might say, it's just a 2023 nickel, how can that be worth anything? But true collectors know that value doesn't always come from age. In fact, modern coins like the 2023D Jefferson nickel can carry significant worth because of minting errors, limited varieties, and rare strike conditions. And in today's video, we're going to show you exactly how those factors can transform a pocket change nickel into a prized collector's item. Let's first talk about what makes the 2023D nickel such a hot topic. This coin is part of the Jefferson nickel series, which has been in circulation since 1938. In 2023, the Denver Mint produced millions of these coins. But not all of them came out perfectly. Some were struck with unique mint errors, some with incredible detail and luster, and a select few emerged with rare and collectible qualities that immediately caught the eyes of serious numismatists. The most desirable version of this coin is one with full steps. What does that mean? On the back of the coin, you'll see Monticello, Jefferson's historic home. At the base of the building are a set of steps. Most nickels, especially those struck quickly at high speed, do not fully capture this fine detail. But a full steps designation means every line on those steps is sharp, complete, and uninterrupted. That level of detail is rare, especially in coins meant for circulation. Full steps nickels always command higher premiums, even more so when paired with other minting anomalies. Now let's talk about those rare and valuable mint errors that can dramatically increase a coin's worth. One of the most exciting and easy to spot is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly aligned during minting, and the design is shifted to one side, leaving a portion of the coin blank. A strong off-center strike, especially one with a clear date and mint mark, can be worth hundreds or even thousands, depending on its grade. Another highly sought-after error is the double die obverse. This one takes a little closer inspection. Grab a magnifier and check the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" on the obverse side of the coin. If you see signs of doubling, where the letters appear stacked or shadowed, you might have a double die variety, and that's a jackpot in the eyes of any collector. And then there's the struck-through grease error, where part of the design appears missing or faded. This isn't damage, it's a result of grease or debris getting in the die during production. These coins are unique and one of a kind, and collectors love them for their mystery and individuality. Each one tells a story of the chaos and unpredictability of the minting process. But wait, it gets better. Because 2023 is such a recent year, high-grade examples are still available. You can still find these coins in bank rolls, fresh from mint bags, or even in everyday circulation. This means you have a real chance to find one in near-perfect condition, and when those rare errors come in top grades like MS67 or MS68, the price skyrockets. That's where modern coins like the 2023 D nickel become more than just pocket change. They become prized investments. Let's talk numbers. At a recent coin show, a 2023 D Jefferson nickel with an exceptional off-center strike, full steps, and blazing mint luster was submitted to PCGS. It came back with a high mint state grade and a confirmed error. It didn't take long for collectors to notice. The bidding was intense, and by the end of the auction, the final sale price reached a stunning $20,000, yes, $20,000 for a modern nickel straight from 2023. That's the kind of story every coin hunter dreams of, and it proves that even today's coins can be tomorrow's treasures. So what should you do next? If you've got any 2023 D nickels lying around, it's time to take a closer look. Examine the steps on Monticello. Are they full and complete? Inspect the date and inscriptions. Is there doubling or blurring? Look at the shape and centering of the coin. Does the design look off? All of these signs could point to a valuable error that most people would miss, and if you find something unusual or exciting, don't keep it to yourself. I want to hear about it. Drop a comment below and tell us what you've discovered. Have you found a 2023 D nickel with a strange feature? Do you have a nickel that looks different from the rest? Let's build a collector's community where we can share, learn, and grow together. Your comment might inspire another collector to find their own hidden treasure. Thank you for joining me in today's deep dive into the world of the 2023 D Jefferson nickel. This is why coin collecting is so exciting. Every coin holds a story, a mystery, and a possibility. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the next valuable discovery. Keep searching, stay curious, and remember, the next time you hold a nickel in your hand, it might just be worth $20,000.